Welcome to Daily News in AI Agents, the place to get a quick roundup of the most exciting developments in AI agents every day. Subscribe to our LinkedIn newsletter today in the link below to stay activated. Take OpenAI's ChatGPT.
Right.
They've just rolled out this new feature for macOS that lets ChatGPT actually integrate with all sorts of regular apps you use.
Wait, hold on. What does that even mean, practically speaking?
Okay, so imagine you're working on a coding project, right? With this new feature, ChatGPT can actually pull information directly from your terminal, your IDEs.
IDEs.
Yeah, those are integrated development environments. So basically it's like where you write and edit code.
Okay, got it.
And even your plain old text editor. And you can ask ChatGPT to look at your code and find errors or even suggest how to make it better.
So it's not just like a chatbot anymore. ChatGPT is becoming more like a super powered assistant that actually works right alongside you, inside the tools you're already using.
Exactly.
Wow. I mean, what are the implications of something like that?
Well, I mean, the potential for increased productivity is enormous. It could really speed up how people work and make, complicated tasks way easier. Not just for experienced developers, but also people just starting out.
I can see that, but couldn't there be downsides too? What about, all the data privacy stuff if ChatGPT is getting access to information from all these different apps I'm using?
Oh, for sure. That's a valid concern. And it's definitely something developers need to be very careful about. As these integrations get more powerful, making sure user privacy and all that data security stuff is taken care of, it's going to be paramount.
Yeah. It's a lot to think about, but it seems like while OpenAI is making all these big moves, they're not the only ones in the game.
Right.
I saw some stuff about Google's Gemini 2.0 too.
Oh, yeah?
What's that all about?
Oh, Google is definitely pushing the boundaries as well. Gemini 2.0 has this really cool feature called flash thinking. Basically, it can actually show you its reasoning process, step by step.
So instead of just spitting out an answer,
Yeah,
it can actually show you how it got there.
exactly. Almost showing its work.
Okay, that's interesting. Why is that such a big deal?
Well, for one thing, it could help people trust the AI's decisions more. If you can see how it arrived at an answer, you might be more likely to actually accept it.
I suppose so.
And it also gives you valuable insights into how these super complex systems actually work, which is, important for researchers and people developing these things.
So it's not just about the results, it's also about making the AI's thought process, more transparent. I get it. But are these powerful AI tools only available to big tech companies like Google and OpenAI? What about the rest of us?
Well, that's where the world of open source AI comes in.
Yeah.
And it's a game changer.
Okay.
One of the things you sent me was about Pinocchio 3.0. It's an open source AI model browser and installation tool.
Open source meaning anyone can access it and even contribute to it.
Exactly.
That seems pretty significant.
It really is. Pinocchio just got a major update, making it even easier to use. It's got this customizable interface, better package management, and it can even do stuff like automate browser interactions.
Oh, that's a lot.
Think of it like it's a platform that basically makes these powerful AI models available to anyone. So now individuals and smaller companies can get involved in, AI development.
So it's instead of only having professional chefs being able to use, professional grade kitchens, now anyone can experiment with gourmet cooking at home.
That's a perfect analogy.
I like that one.
With tools like Pinocchio, anyone with, an internet connection and a little coding knowledge could be building the next, big AI application.
That's amazing. So we've got AI getting more powerful and easier to use, and at the same time, all the tools to actually build and experiment with AI are becoming more accessible to everyone. It really does feel like things are changing fast. But where does all this lead? What happens when these, powerful AI tools start impacting other industries, beyond just the tech world?
It is, right. It's not just in those Silicon Valley startups or research labs anymore.
Yeah.
It's getting into healthcare, manufacturing, logistics. I mean, you name it.
One that really stood out to me was the one about Google DeepMind.
Yeah.
Partnering with a robotics company, or Aptronic, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
And they're working on developing these AI-powered humanoid robots.
Oh, wow.
I have to admit, robots that actually look and move like us.
Yeah.
it's pretty mind-blowing, but also kind of, unnerving at the same time.
Yeah, I get that. It's definitely a mixed bag of feelings, right? I mean, humanoid robots, they've always like captured our imagination.
Right.
But now they're actually starting to become a reality. I think what's really driving this is the need for robots that can actually function in the same space as we do. Like environments that are designed for humans.
Oh, okay.
Places where like the traditional robots, they just wouldn't be able to handle it.
So are we talking robots that can like work alongside people in factories, warehouses, maybe even like hospitals?
Exactly. These humanoid robots are designed to be like adaptable, dexterous, able to do all sorts of tasks. And that could really change things up in industries like manufacturing and logistics.
Yeah.
Potentially making everything way more efficient, productive.
Okay. I mean, that all makes sense, and the benefits are, pretty clear. But I can't help but think about, like, what about the downsides?
Mm-hmm.
What about, jobs?
Right.
If robots can do all these things that humans used to do, what happens to those people?
That is a huge question. I think it's something, honestly, that society really needs to grapple with. Like, as AI and robotics keep advancing, we have to think about how to retrain people, how to teach them new skills whose jobs might be affected.
Yeah.
It's not just about, like, developing the tech. It's about making sure that the transition is fair and that it works for everyone.
For sure. That's a tough one. It's definitely, a complicated issue. There's no easy answers there. But shifting gears a bit, we also saw some really inspiring examples of how AI is being used to, tackle global health challenges.
Oh, definitely. Like that one about Wadhwani AI.
Yeah.
That nonprofit that's using AI to fight tuberculosis in India.
Yeah.
Did you know that India has like over 25% of all the TB cases globally?
Wow, that's a lot. What are they doing about it? What's Wadhwani AI actually doing?
Well, they've developed some pretty amazing AI tools. Right. Like one of them is this app that can, get this, it can screen for potential TB infections just by analyzing a patient's cough.
Wait, really? Just from a cough? How's that even possible?
It's pretty wild. The app uses machine learning algorithms to pick up on these subtle patterns in the cough sound that could indicate a TB infection. It's a non-invasive way to screen for TB. It doesn't cost a lot, and it's especially useful in places where they don't have easy access to healthcare.
Yeah, I can see how that would be like a game changer, especially for those rural communities or countries where the healthcare system is already like really stretched thin.
Yeah, absolutely. And they have this other tool called PAYTO, which stands for Prediction of Adverse TB Outcomes.
Okay.
And this AI actually analyzes patient data to identify the patients who are most at risk of dying from TB.
Wow.
So that way, doctors can focus on those patients and hopefully, save more lives.
So it's not just about diagnosis. It's also about like predicting what might happen and then guiding those treatment decisions.
Exactly.
It's really amazing how AI can like personalize healthcare like that.
It really is. And this whole idea of like using AI to optimize things, it goes way beyond healthcare. We were looking at an article about Boone, that startup that's using AI to change up the logistics industry.
Oh, yeah. And I remember being like a bit confused by their tagline, something about agentic AI tools for fleets.
Right.
Like, what does that even mean in plain English?
Okay, so basically think of it as AI that can actively manage and optimize all the stuff that goes on in logistics. Everything from like delivery routes to how they manage warehouses.
Okay.
Boone's building these AI agents that can like actually make decisions and take actions in real time. So they're coordinating entire fleets of vehicles, making sure everything runs smoothly, predicting any potential delays, that kind of thing.
So it's like having like a super intelligent like traffic controller that can see problems before they happen and just reroute everything like on the fly.
Exactly. And that could have a huge impact, not just on like efficiency, but also saving money.
Yeah. Wow. And it's not just about, making sure those deliveries are on time.
Right.
AI-powered logistics could also help with like reducing fuel consumption and even emissions, right? So making the whole industry more sustainable.
For sure.
It seems like there's almost no limit to the industries that AI could potentially, revolutionize. It's both really exciting and a little bit daunting. But as AI becomes like more powerful and more common everywhere.
What does that mean for privacy and security?
It's a big question. I mean, as these AI systems get more and more woven into our lives,
Right.
the chances of someone misusing them and the need for like really solid security, it just becomes even more important.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's not just about, bad guys trying to take advantage of the AI. It's like,
Right.
there's also the problem of things just going wrong accidentally.
Yeah.
Like, let's say an AI system was trained on data that's biased in some way.
Yeah.
Well, it might end up making decisions that are unfair.
Yeah.
Or even discriminatory.
So even if everyone's trying to do the right thing,
Right.
things can still go sideways if we're not really careful about how we, build and actually use these systems. It sounds like there's a lot of work to do to make sure that AI is, being used responsibly and ethically. There is. But the good news is that people are becoming more aware of these challenges. Like we saw that article about the EU, how they're trying to give AI developers guidance on following those privacy laws like GDPR.
Right. That makes sense. I mean, as AI gets more sophisticated, we definitely need, some clear rules and guidelines to protect people's privacy and to make sure that this tech is being used ethically.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And beyond regulations, there's this push for more transparency.
Okay.
One of the articles was talking about how researchers are actually using these large language models or LLMs to try and figure out how these really complicated AI systems actually make their decisions.
So they're using AI to investigate AI.
Exactly.
Like AI detectives, trying to crack the case.
Yeah.
How do these, what do they call them? Like black boxes.
Yeah, the black box algorithms.
Right.
That's a great way to put it. So by using LLMs to sort of probe these black box systems, researchers, they're hoping to understand, how they work inside, which could help them find any biases or, vulnerabilities or even those unintended consequences we were talking about.
It seems like a really, key step in getting people to trust AI. I mean, if we can actually understand how it works, then we can feel more confident about the decisions it's making, and we can be better prepared to deal with any potential risks.
Exactly. And along with all these efforts to, understand and regulate AI, there are also these cool initiatives that are focused on making AI development more inclusive and more accessible.
Oh, okay.
Like, remember that one from your stack about Sahara AI?
Yeah.
It's a platform that actually rewards people for contributing to the data that AI is trained on.
So instead of just relying on those big tech companies to collect all the data, Sahara AI is like crowdsourcing it, so anyone can contribute.
Exactly.
That's really interesting.
So by opening up access to AI development like this, Sahara AI's hoping to create, a data set that's more inclusive and more representative of everyone. And that could lead to AI systems that are less biased and fairer.
Yeah. It's good to see these kinds of initiatives popping up.
It is.
It shows that, even though there are some real challenges with AI, there are people out there working hard to, reduce those risks and make sure AI is actually a force for good.
Yeah, absolutely.
This has been a really fascinating deep dive. We've talked about all the amazing progress, the potential benefits, and also those, really important challenges we need to tackle. And I think one thing's for sure, AI isn't just some futuristic idea anymore.
Right.
It's here, it's changing fast, and it's shaping our world in some really big ways.
It really is. And as we move forward, it's crucial to remember that the future of AI, it's not set in stone.
Right.
It's up to all of us to shape it.
Yeah.
To make sure AI is developed and used in a way that benefits everyone and aligns with our values.
Well said.
Yeah.
And to everyone listening, as you continue to, learn about AI and explore this world, we encourage you to really think about its impact, to join the conversations about its development, and to consider how you can help shape a future where AI is a force for good.